Let's continue the conversation right now, bringing in the mayor of Yuma, Arizona, Douglas Nicholls. Thank you so much for being with us today. A record 300,000 immigrants have crossed the Yuma border this fiscal year alone. We know that there are about 600 to 800 crossing every single day. Where are they going once they arrive in your city?
Well, they go all points throughout the country. So they're headed to all sorts of different locations from the Northeast to Northwest to the Southwest. So it's actually kind of curious that you would have people come all the way from Cuba just to end up back in Florida. But that is part of the dynamic that's happening out here.
Because it's where they can cross. It's the one access point as they move along the border that they can actually get through. Go ahead.
And it's also deals with the cartels that they're dealing with. So the cartels have regions and areas they have control over. And so they push their people as well as anything else they're trying to push into the United States through those channels that they own.
Wow. Yeah, because a lot of these people are just owned by the cartel. That's the right word to use there. How are the city's resources and budget being impacted right now?
Well, so for right now, Border Patrol has really stepped up, and there's a lot more resources at their disposal, which has been the way that they've handled the influx over the last 6 months. We have a local nonprofit has really worked hand in hand with Border Patrol to make sure that people aren't impacting the community with a lot of demand for resources. So from that perspective, there hasn't been a dramatic downdraw yet. But really where it's hitting us is in our medical community. We have $20 million of unreimbursed expenses dealing directly with the healthcare for migrants as they're coming through, and just in the last 6 months. And so those costs are passed on to the people who live here year round.
Along with Cochise County, as Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, he has decided to put these shipping containers as barriers in gaps along the border. What would have been a wall, but kind of creating a wall. We're told that migrant encounters now are starting to decline. Is it because of those shipping containers, do you think?
I think it's just part of the ebb and flow that happens because it actually went up right after the containers went in place. And I think, 1,000, while it's a large number, fluctuation week to week is really not super dramatic. If we saw a consistent downturn, then I think there's something to look at. But we still have 700 people a day crossing, which is still 3 to 4 times higher than we had in previous peaks and 8 to 10 times more than what we would normally get in this area.
And is there any difference between these barriers or these shipping containers being on federal land?
Well, the fact they're on federal land it's kind of a curiosity to me that the state could do something on federal land and the federal government not say one thing or another, which is great because it helps provide the border security we need. It helps really kind of funnel that traffic. It's not really anticipated that it's going to totally drop the numbers or create a full secure border situation, but it does help dramatically, especially when we're talking about protecting private property, making sure people are funneled into the correct area, and Border Patrol could be more effective in addressing those concerns.
Really fast, what would you say needs to be done that's not being done? What would you like to see happening at the border?
Well, it needs to be policy. Policy. That's the single word that would have a dramatic change along all elements of the border. If we had policies that actually prosecuted people, smugglers, as well as those trying to cross illegally and repeatedly, we would see a change along the border.
Mayor Douglas Nicholls from Yuma, Arizona, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.